A Pew Research Center report recently found just 54% of young adults ages 18 to 24 are working, making it the highest level of unemployment in that age group since 1948. Joining me with some advice on how to find and be fairly paid for your first career job is my guest, Tanny, co-author of Ramen to Riches, Finding a Job in Your 20s. Lauren, thanks so much for joining us.
You're so welcome.
I have to say, unemployment rates in San Diego are a little more than 8.5%. That kind of makes it a employer's job market. Is that a good thing in any way for young job seekers?
Not really.
Okay.
You know, if you look at it, an employer who's posting a job, especially on an online job board, is getting hundreds of resumes. And a lot of those people have a ton of experience.
What motivated you and your husband to write this book?
Well, the first book my husband wrote was From Ramen to Riches, Building Wealth in Your 20s. And what we saw there was, who teaches us how to manage our money? Who teaches us how to invest? Who teaches us how to succeed in the world of money? Nobody. And I think there's a similar gap in job hunting. Career services offices at colleges can't cover with a handful of people the thousands of students. And job hunting is different than it used to be. So there's a whole body of knowledge that people in their 20s need to know that nobody's putting out there.
A lot of job seekers, especially young job seekers, will take any job at the Starbucks or wherever to just have work. Outside of starving to death, is this a good idea?
I like your caveat. You know, absolutely, take a job if you have to eat. But no, it's not a good idea. You really need to look at your skills and your passions and what you'd be the best at, and look at companies that you resonate with. So even if you maybe start in a role that's not ideal, it's still a company that you care about what they do and match with their values. You want to at least set yourself up on a path.
Let's go through your 5 keys to success. You have 7 in your book, but let's talk about the top 5 key success. Self-assessment is the first one. Tell me about that.
For every job searcher of any age, but particularly young people, they need to think about, what are my values? Who am I in the world? What is going to make me happy in a job?
And what's the next thing? Not just your kind of values, there's also a passion involved.
Yes, then it's, what am I passionate about? What are my passions all over in my life, in all different parts, but then what areas can directly contribute to a job? So I may be passionate about sports. Well, maybe there's a sports marketing or a sports PR opportunity.
You mentioned that you might be competing against more experienced people with a high unemployment rate. What should young or new graduates or young people do as far as with their experience?
Well, with experience, you really have to look at everything you've done. I mean, I'm talking going back to babysitting and lawn mowing, lifeguarding, and also things that you did that showcase your leadership skills, like any kind of leadership role in a college club or fraternity or sorority. A lot of things, both hard and soft skills, that you can kind of pull out of various experiences.
I was going to say, how do you identify your skills? Because that's one of the top 5.
Yes, you really do look with a microscope at your past and say, okay, what was the skill that I developed out of being a paper boy? Well, you know what I did? I really learned time management, and I really learned deadline management. And then you can put those skills on your resume.
And your book talks a lot about building a network. Why is that important?
Jobs are not gotten through the internet. Some are, but that's only if you stand out amongst those hundreds of resumes. Most young people and most people of any age will get a job through networking. So your network is the people you know and the people they can introduce you to and the people they can introduce you to. And it's your friends, but it's your parents' friends. It's anybody who is willing to help you in your search.
Let's talk about that applying for a job. 20-something-year-olds have grown up on the internet. They are going to sit there and do 8 hours worth of sending out applications. Is that effective?
No. Now, I'm not saying don't do any of it, because if there's jobs that are right up your alley and you're well qualified for, absolutely put in an online resume. But by and large, you're lucky if you even get a response saying, we got your resume and you're not qualified. People are getting flooded. A lot of the senior executives I work with don't even put postings on large online job websites anymore because they get flooded.
Too many responses. All right, for more tips, including the 10 most common mistakes and looking for a job, go to our website, kpbs.org. Tanny, thanks so much for talking with us.
Thank you, Peggy.